Welcome back to the ChatterBox podcast. Today I am joined by Bad Boy Beeman and none other than Wanted himself. How are you doing, Most?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. It's a bit of a mad like crossover of universes, but let's do it, man. Literally.
It is a little bit mad. Like
Yeah.
there's some history there, but listen, past is in the past. It's about talking about what's happening with you now and the future, in the near future as well. We are 19 days away from your debut fight on Misfits. How do you feel about that?
I feel I don't even know how I feel, man. It doesn't really feel real to be 100% honest with you. It's still, I think fight week is when it will set in, and I'll be like, raw, like this is actually happening. It's actually real. It's actually time to go. But right now it doesn't even feel real. I'm just working hard, training every day, and then I guess it will set in fight week.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I'm looking forward to your fight. I really am. I think I'm not like I've not seen really any training footage of you, by the way, other than a little bit of like Thai sparring, I think it was. Um, but I just know you're a game sort of kid. You're up for it. You'll fight anyone. They could have put Mike Tyson in front of you, and you would have said, "Yeah, go on." So I'm looking forward to your fight. One thing I want to say is I feel like you're the underdog in this fight. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. Like 100% I'm the underdog. Like this guy, he's 8-0. He's a two-weight regional champion. He's been boxing for over 15 years. 15 years ago, I was 5 years old. So yeah, I would say I'm probably the underdog, especially since my debut as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think I've done a little bit of research into that Joey Knight, and I've tried to pick them apart. This is what any fighter does. You watch a fighter, and you'll try and pick them apart and see what the weak parts are, what the strengths are, and he just seems like a well-rounded fighter. I do think that you've got that grit, determination, and heart to push through the fight. And I'm praying you get the knockout, man. It would be absolutely epic. A guy from the small creator scene who sort of just built this Twitter personality comes onto the scene on the big stage on the zone and splats a 8-0 boxer. Well, I was going to say pro boxer then, but it's just white collar boxing, isn't it, that he's done?
Unlicensed, yeah.
Yeah, unlicensed, but still, like the guy's got a nice little bit of talent about him from what I've seen. Is there anything about Joey Knight that you've seen that you think could, work to your advantage? His style, do you think that you'll be able to, work with that quite well? Or is there anything you're working on in the gym?
Um, Without giving too much away, obviously, I think that in his a lot of his fights, he's a flashy fighter, which I think the fans, obviously, Misfits and viewers will like a lot. But if he's gonna do this hands down, like baiting style, like flashy kind of style, me, it's just not gonna go very well for him. I don't really look at stuff like that. Whenever I see people do stuff like that in the ring and their opponent's just sort of waiting for them to finish, it's like, why are you waiting for him to finish? Why don't you finish him? You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just my mentality, really.
Yeah, yeah. I think um, you know, Most Wanted, we don't have the best of history. Um, so when I saw your fight announcement, there was stuff that went on. Um, but you know what, Most like I'm happy for you, you know. Um, I think now that I think of it, I think Mam's giving you this fight is a positive for the community, right? It inspires others to work hard, to create content, and to build themselves up, really, you know? Um, so it's really good to see Mams giving people an opportunity. As for the guy that you're fighting, I have to pay my respects to you because he looks serious, man. He looks very, very good. I was watching his video. I think he was filming with True Jordi, and I was just amazed at how confident he is in. It's almost like he sees you as a stepping stone, which I think is going to be bad for him if he carries that mentality with him inside the ring because he's already talking about being the great being an easy fight for him, which, you know, I just think he's overconfident, man. I think it's going to be his first fight on Misfits. I definitely think he's overconfident.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. He's definitely viewing me as a stepping stone, like you said. Um, to be honest with you, it's kind of annoying for me. Like I respect True Geordie, I respect my opponent. I even like True Geordie. I call myself a fan. I've been watching him for a long, long time. even before any of this Misfit stuff. But I think he's just got a lot of brethren bias, bro. Like he's saying that Joey Knight's the future of Misfits. I saw him say that on a comment section. He's saying that it makes sense for him to fight Dean the Great. Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. Like Joey's a
Yeah,
smaller name. He's a smaller name. He's bigger than me, but he's a smaller name compared to the grand scheme of things. He's 8-0. He's got all this experience to come here and fight YouTubers. Like what? Like realistically, I'm taking a fight as opportunity for me, and I reckon I really do genuinely think I'll get the job done. To be honest with you, I don't think he can take my power. To be fair, but I think True Jordy's just got this brethren bias. If it was anyone else, like look what he said about Idris Virgo. Like I understand he's 12-0 pro and he's 8-0 unlicensed, but still, like there's a lot of experience and there's a big gap between Joey Knight and a typical influencer YouTuber guy. I've been boxing for under a year, and it's my debut, and I'm fighting someone who's 8-0. And this guy's talking about, oh, I can't wait to take lightweights heads off. Like what? You're 29, you've been boxing for 15 years, and you're bragging about beating up YouTubers. Well done, mate. Like it's a bit like, come on, man. I have respect for him, but like, let's just call it what it is, man. Let's
I've
just
got
call
to
it what
say,
it
listen,
is.
like, listen. As somebody who's in a similar position to Joey Knight with experience and whatnot, and wanting to fight YouTubers, like, I've got to say, like, he's probably just playing the game and stuff, like, you know, the back and forth. But although saying that is back and forth's not really like beef or anything, which I know if he wanted to beef with you, I think that he would have already lost before you enter the ring, because I don't think I've ever seen a moment where you have beefed with someone and they've won. Do you know what I mean? You tried beefing with me when we first spoke. You were telling me you were 6'4" heavyweight man. I was like, I'm ready. Name the time and place. And then I found out you're like 5 foot nothing. That was
No, like a
funny,
lot
man.
of the
That was
time
funny.
on spaces, especially like with you, I was like, "Who's this guy? He's a heavyweight. Yeah, I'm a heavyweight too. I'll knock you smart clean out. I'm just trying to get you angry on the space, but yeah, that's all jokes, man.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, I
respect you
don't
for
think
that, man.
he's. Nah, I appreciate it, man. But no, I don't think he's coming to beef anything like that. Like he's being very respectful. I genuinely, I said this on a tweet the other day, I think, but I genuinely think it's because three people that's already fighters on Misfits. I'm not gonna say their names, but if you want to come out and expose yourself, you can. But three fighters that's already been on Misfits, they've turned down this fight, said, no, I'm not doing it. And I had to say yes. That's why I had to step up and be the one. So that's probably why I got the opportunity. He probably respects that. And he's probably like, you know what? It's fair game. He's a game kid. You know, and I respect him for getting in the ring. And I have to just do nothing but reciprocate that same respect he's giving me. I match energy. I don't bring out like random serious beef from nowhere for no reason, unless it's a joke for a took space. But yeah, I'm not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna be doing anything mad.
So one thing I will say about it then is this, right? This guy's 8-0 with boxing experience, but looking at the videos I've seen of his fights, they've all been in extremely small halls, right? Maybe 500 capacity at best. There's not really been like you know, televised sort of situation where it's going to be, you know, to millions of people around the world watching it. There's never been a situation where he's had like, I don't know, like 1,500 or more people in the arena watching. So I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. And I can say this from experience as well. When I went and fought against JST, I'm the boxer. I'm the guy fighting somebody who's been training for a year. So he had nothing to lose, and I had everything to lose. Even when I won, I still sort of lost. Everyone was like, "Well done, Jay. You done well. You survived 3 rounds with a guy who's had multiple fights in boxing. So you're in that situation that JST was in now. Right now, I feel that you've got absolutely nothing to lose. You go in there and put on a good performance, win, lose, or draw. You come out a winner. That's the way I look at it. I think Joey Knight has got a lot to lose in this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I guess this is like insight into my mindset here. Um, I don't know if I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'll say it anyway. I think that my main thing that's gonna help me in this fight is my composure. Like you said, all the pressure's on him. He's never fought under the lights before. He's never, especially with the stakes of this, like you said, he's supposed to win. He's a massive favorite. And in my head, my mentality, I've genuinely accepted all outcomes as 100% as a possibility. All outcomes, win, lose, or draw. And I'm comfortable with all outcomes, to be honest with you. I don't think he has the power to finish me. I don't think he even believes he has the power to finish me. Especially judging based off his fights. I don't think he would believe that. But but yeah, I think that my main thing is gonna be my composure. I think that first round, it's just not gonna go how he thinks it's gonna go. I'm not an easy touch, I'm not a stepper son, I'm not no walkover. And I'm gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the ring. And when he realizes after the first round, he's gonna be like, okay, I'm here now. I'm in a fight. I didn't realize it's gonna be a fight like this, but I'm fighting now. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that moment's gonna set in for him. But yeah.
I think you take every opportunity you can in the early rounds for when he's coming out thinking he's like, he's about to just breeze through. Take every opportunity you can. I'm sure you're already aware of this. I'm sure you're training for it. But in them early rounds, like in my fight with JST, in the first round, I come out and try to straight away throw an overhand left and knock him out. That was like, I'm just gonna knock him out in the first punch. I missed. He literally just slipped out the way of it and started hitting me with straight shots. And I was like, shit, okay, this guy can actually box.
Rock your world. If you're hungry, get some. That's you, mate.
I know, I'm definitely going to get that after.
I've seen good reviews from everyone. They've enjoyed the
Here
food.
we go, boys.
Finally on the main event. Bad Boy versus
Oh,
Jay.
JSC coming in.
Both fighters out strong.
That's not what I expected.
And Jay is going for
He's chilling. Oh!
So there was a moment of realization for me, and I know that you can bring that to Joey Knight on the night. I don't think he's going to perform as good as he thinks he is. I don't think that you're going to underperform either. I think people are really underestimating this fight with you. But don't get me wrong as well. Like, it can only take one punch to change a fight. But I am genuinely rooting for you, man.
No, I appreciate it, man, for real. Appreciate it.
Bose, talking about the card, we have another lightweight fight on the card. We got Fox the G versus Small Spartan J. Now, I want to ask you, if you do get past Joey Knight, what are we saying? Are you looking to take on the winner of that fight?
No, I'm not staying at this weight class, bro. I'm too big for this weight class. This 135-pound, 140, nah. I'll say this, man. I'm not a guy that's 135-pounder at all. It took like Mams told me this was gonna be at 135, and it was at 135 for like the first few days. Then I seen a video online of him saying, "I'll fight anyone at Misfits at any weight." I took that video, I took the clip, I sent it to Mams. I said, he said any weight, let's do 140. Let's do 140. And all respects to him, he said any weight, and I suggested 140. He said yes, no problem. So I have to respect him for that as well. But I'm not 135-pounder. And unless Fox or Jay wants to come up, even then I'm friends with both of them, and I don't even want to do like that. But I reckon my future in Misfits is going to be a bit heavier, probably at 155-ish, something like that.
What do you walk around at the moment? Like when you're not training, what's your like average weight?
150, 155. But unfortunately, there's no 145-pound division. That would be perfect for me. But I guess I'll settle for the 150-pound, 155-pound, I mean.
So what have you been doing in your camp at the moment, like for weight loss, to cut weight, like with your diet and things like that? What have you had to change?
Just running. I hate running. I've never been good at running, but I have to be running. I have to obviously dieting. That's the main two things. Literally just making sure I'm just sweating as much as I can. And I'm comfortable getting to 140. Definitely wasn't comfortable getting to 135, but I'm comfortable getting to 140, I reckon.
That's when them crackhead cheekbones start coming out, man, isn't it? When you get to the 135, yeah. If I drop under like 17 stone, I start getting them cheekbones, I swear to God. So we've spoke about your fight. I'm genuinely rooting for you, man. And just one other thing I want to talk about quickly before we do end this podcast is I watched a video on YouTube yesterday. It was on a channel called Most Wanted, and it was about Keemstar. So, like, you've literally put evidence and stuff in that video of him saying certain things. Like, do you feel like that'll shut it all up now and put a stop to that sort of behavior, or do you think there's going to end up being a back and forth between you and Keem?
Not even slightly. It's not going to stop nothing. I mean, millions of people, small, big, medium, size creators have made bare videos exposing actual facts about Keemstar doing stupid shit. Whether it's like all facts or not facts, everyone knows he does a lot of stupid shit. And he's a fucking hypocrite and a liar and a manipulator. He's actually admitted to being a manipulator to push his own narratives before on Spaces after I confronted him. So he knows what kind of person and what kind of man he is, and he's comfortable with that. I am not comfortable being around people like that. So what I thought I'd do is I would just make a big point of it, remind everyone this is a clown, don't listen to his stupid takes. He's an idiot. He's a dickhead. That's why he's been kicked off the networks by the fans, the community, and the networks. Yeah, it's that simple. And yeah, I wanted to just do that video just to point out my experiences with him, my the threats that he's made about 100Ks and a lawyer and all of this, that, and a third, and trying to blackball me. But look, like what YB said, like they try to blackball me, but they see me now. They see me now on Misfits. And where's Keemstar? Not on fucking DAZN, I'll tell you that much.
But one thing I will say about Keemstar that's a positive is he knows how to ride that drama trail. He knows how to, I mean, he literally made a career out of it with Drama Alert. But one thing I will say as well, if he's talking your name, right? And you're just this Twitter personality. That's got to be a positive thing anyway, hasn't it? Whether it's good, bad, it doesn't matter. All publicity is good publicity at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Obviously, at a certain point, it was like that. But like even now, he's just a hypocrite. Like even more hypocrite after the video, I realized he's even more of a hypocrite because he's on that space talking about this card needs storylines. There's no more storylines in influencer boxing. Now I'm trying to make a storyline between me and him and me and Happy Punch. He has all these fighters he can throw at me. He can beat me and promote that fight. That's a big fat storyline right there, based off the back of that video that got however many likes it did on Twitter. It got noise. It got people talking. It's the start of a storyline. And this guy wants to sit there with his fat belly hanging over his belt and say shit like, oh, this guy, I'm not talking about him because I don't want to give him clout. Bro, you wanna save the scene? You think the scene is dying? Then buy into the storylines. Play the game. I'm playing the game.
I see that. I see that, mate. You've played the game. You've created the storyline. It's up to him
But
now
he's
to
not
make.
even trying to. He's not even trying to keep the ball rolling. He's trying to sit there on his high horse about, I'm not giving him my clout. If you don't want to give me your clout, then you don't want to do those storylines. You don't want to give the scene storylines. You're supposed to breathe life into the scene with your numbers. That's what you're supposed to do. But you're sitting there like a dickhead, not even promoting your own fighters like a prick. Sorry.
I do agree. I do agree to an extent that like there has been a lack of storylines, but that's mainly down to certain creators not promoting. I've seen you promoting already. You were the first person and probably the only person I saw promoting for at least like a week. And then after that, I saw, I think, a video from it was actually AT. Yeah, Anthony Taylor. He put a video out saying like, I'm going to promote because no one else is. But now people have started to promote a little bit more. But I mean, I don't know, man. I prefer like a natural build up to the fights where like, you know, there's a little bit of respect. Like I'm seeing that quite a bit between you and Joey Knight at the moment. There's sort of like a mutual respect. And then on fight night, that's where you know, put it in and whatnot. But like when you see like the fake beeps, you can tell the fake and it just doesn't make sense to me. But that's my opinion. And I know there's probably a
Bad boy,
younger generation who
I would
enjoy it.
rather have fake beef than nothing going on in the scene. You know, for example, Chase Demore and Stevie Knight, their beef was fake, for example. But like I just don't mind having fake beef. Like as long as we don't know, as long as it's not obvious, I just don't mind it, you know?
Well, I tried that myself, right? I tried that fake beef with Gary Olive, right? And Gary Olive's on the voice notes and DMs going, I will cave your fucking skull in. So he made threats, like in real life threats, and that's when it took a turning point. Then I'm on the phone to a couple of people saying we need to go down to Off the Hook Gym and pay him a visit. And anyway, it all got squashed. But I'm genuinely looking forward to this fight, Most Wanted. I do want to say thank you very much for coming on the podcast today. We will end it there. We pretty much covered everything. And I hope you give Joey Knight a very tough night on January 20th. And guys, if you want to buy a ticket to the show or if you want to watch, we will put Most Wanted. Have you got a link?
I have a ticket link, yeah.
Yeah, we will put Most Wanted's ticket link in the description below so you guys can go and support him. And if you are going, I'll see you there on January 20th in Leeds. Thank you very much for signing in, guys. Hit that like button, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe and notifications on. Peace.